Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to this demonstration today. My name is Alice Inuovo. I'm a certified raw vegan chef and I've been a vegan for more than 2 years now. And I really want to appreciate your time here coming in a busy evening to come and see this demonstration. We're going to be making something really, really special that you're going to really love to bring to your family. It's blueberry pie. I mean, who doesn't love blueberry pie? But a healthy blueberry pie. So with this recipe, I always wear gloves, and because making the crust can get very, very sticky, and so this is a tip in using gloves. Also, I have a bunch of nuts here, and I soak and dehydrate all the nuts prior to making my recipe, and the reason being is that it removes a lot of the toxins, as well as, and then we dehydrate it, it just tastes better, and it's better for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig right in and begin my recipe. So the first thing I'm going to do is this is a food processor. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, and I use a grinding blade on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the almonds, grind them first, so that if I were to grind everything together and mix everything together to make a flour, it would stick together and it would be very, very difficult and challenging to mix it really well. So what I'm going to do, it's pretty noisy, and I want to make it like a flour. Not a flour that goes to the ground, a flour that you make like bread with, but it's healthy flour. And you always want to check on while you're doing it to make sure that you don't over process it. Oh, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding the other nuts. So I have here walnuts. And if you see her from like different nuts and different fruits and vegetables that we have, it resembles part of our body. So what does a walnut resemble? Can anybody tell me? Very good, a brain. So when you're making, so then what I'm going to do is I put in a cup of walnuts, I put in a cup of the almonds, and I put a cup in of the pecans. So what I'm going to do too is I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder and a half a teaspoon of sea salt. And then I have about a cup and a half of dates. And we, as vegans, vegetarians in the raw food community, we use as sweetener dates and raw honey. Whenever you can get honey, you'll want to get it from local beekeepers. Anything that you buy, you want to buy it in season, preferably, as well as from local farmers. The dates are put into this recipe because it's going to help the crust stick together, and it binds it. And if you have any questions later, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have later after the presentation. And you're going to love this recipe. And you want to mix it all together so that the dates get blended all in. And you want to feel it so that if you can, oh, I left out a date, but that's okay. So what you want to do to test it is you want to just take it out, and if it can roll it in a ball and it's hard, you know it's ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to blend it just a little bit more, and I'm going to put in my date. Don't tell my husband. Just to make sure it's really blended well. Because you don't want a pie crust that falls apart, do you? So let's check it. So here, it's ready. So how you know it's ready? Like I said, you could do it in a ball. So what I'm going to do is I have a pie plate, and you can use a pie plate, you can use an oblong, like Pyrex plate. So you choose how you want to do it. I chose this pie plate because it resembles a pie. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some of the mixture. Now, I would have done this in my home last night and put it in the refrigerator so that it's easy for me to just pull out and make for my family. But I wanted to do this here for you today as a way to demonstrate how to do it. So what I'm going to just do is I'm just going to press it. It could get a little messy. And it's a good idea to also take out the blade so you don't hurt yourself. Safety first, as always. And so you don't want to make it too thick, because what we're going to do is we're going to keep the extra, and I'm going to show you here. This is what it looks like. And you're going to want to keep extra. What's nice about this is if you come to other demonstrations, I'll show you how to make nice cream, which is made out of nut milk. And we can make like nut milk ice cream, which we call nice cream. And we can show you how we put that on top of different desserts. So you can, and it stores for a while. You can refrigerate it, you can keep it out. And so all I'm doing is I'm molding it as you would a crust. And I'm also going to keep extra so that I can put on top as well. And so you just keep pressing. And this is why I wear the gloves, because it gets all oily and you don't want that all in your fingernails and it can get sticky. And we really don't use a lot of sugar in this recipe. We let the fruit and the blueberries have the taste. You want to really buy blueberries in season. They're sweeter. But we're kind of at the end of the season, so we're good. And this is what it looks like. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the filling. Now blueberries they're very, very high in antioxidants. Blueberries are they're very, very low calories. They only have 84 calories per cup. And they're full of water, which is really good for especially those that don't get a lot of water in their diet. And eating fruits and vegetables that are high in water help you to get water into your system, which is really, really important to flush out toxins and to stay hydrated. So what I'm going to do, this is called a Vitamix. And in my kitchen, I have a Vitamix, I have a food processor, I have a juicer, and I have a dehydrator. That's how easy this is to make recipes as a raw vegan foodie. So what I'm going to do is, and even professionals read the recipes. It's okay to read the recipes. And I will tell you after the class, I'm going to give you all a copy of this recipe so you can go home and you can do it for yourself as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put in, these are macadamia nuts, and again, all my nuts have been soaked and dehydrated. And then I'm going to add, what you usually want to do too is you want to, in the Vitamix, you want to put liquids first, but we're going to put the honey. And this can get sticky. And we'll put that to the side. And then I'm going to put the blueberry. I'm only going to put half of the blueberry. All the blueberries are organic too. Everything that I use is organic. And so I'm going to put in 1 pint of the blueberries, and then I'm going to keep some blueberries that we're going to put in a bowl that we're going to mix with it. And then I'm going to put in, I have a half a cup of the pecans, and we're going to put 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and I also juiced ahead of time 2 lemons. And what makes this really, really amazing is lemon zest. So to make lemon zest, you have a zester, and I wish I had one to show you, and you take a whole lemon. It's easier to take the whole lemon and grind it. So what I did is I did the lemon zest before I would juice, because once you juice, you only have half and it's harder to grind. So that's just a little tip that I learned and I'm passing on to you. And then what I'm going to do processing in the Vitamix and see how smooth it looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bowl right here and I'm going to put in the blueberries, the extra blueberries that I have, and I'm going to just take, I usually just scrape some off, or if I'm by myself I might lick it because it's just so delicious. And this is great for kids, or, you know, you can even, for your husband, if you want, you can replace this and not even tell them that it's raw. We don't use sugars in our recipes because sugar is heated and processed, and it causes inflammation in the body, which can lead to chronic diseases, and that's no fun. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So sometimes you have to work a little bit at getting out. This is why I always wear an apron. You don't really want to waste any because it's just absolutely delicious. Are you all salivating or what? You can't wait to get your spoon. Now you can serve it like this, or you can also put it, like if you're having company, you can also put it in the refrigerator and take it out afterwards so it's just a little cool. And so all I'm doing is just folding in the blueberries, as so, and you could see how beautiful and colorful and fresh that looks. And how nice is it when you're eating something that it actually tastes like it's supposed to? When was the last time you had blueberry pie and it really, really tasted like just blueberries and natural? And you know, I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say about the difference that you taste. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into my pie shell. And if you have kids, this is great. You can do this with them. They can lick the bowl. And you just want to make sure that you get to the corners. And you just go around with your spatula. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be fancy. Just has to taste good. That's what we really care about. And a lot of people have a misconception about raw food, like, oh, I can only eat salads. And that's what I used to think too. But then when I started to make the recipes and eat the desserts and not gain any weight from it, it's become part of, it is my lifestyle now. I don't crave anything, I don't want for anything, I'm able to eat everything, if not better, than everyone here. So then what you're going to do is I'm just going to wipe this off because I made a mess. And we want it to look pretty. My gloves are a little. And then what I'm going to do is you can decorate with strawberries, you can decorate with more blueberries, mint leaves if you want. You can get very creative. When you're in the kitchen, it's about having fun. You know, if you're not having fun at what you do, you know, you're not going to enjoy it. So have fun. This is what is nourishing your body. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some raspberries around. It has a nice contrast. As you can see, I'm very colorful, so I like color. And it doesn't have to be anything super fancy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of my crust. Who doesn't love crust? Is everybody paying attention? Okay. Are you excited to try this recipe?
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm going to have some more workshops coming up, and at the end I'm going to give you flyers to let you know where I'm going to be next. And then I'll put some, I can put some more raspberries on there. And really, how long did this take me? 10, 15 minutes? If you prepare the ingredients a little bit ahead of time. When I first became a raw food person and I was not eating cooked food anymore, I thought it was going to take me much longer. But it takes you just as long. Let me ask you a question. This took me about 10 minutes to make. How long would it take you to make a blueberry pie? An hour? 2 hours? So, voila. This is your blueberry pie. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to cut pieces of it.
Yum.